I wonder why when we would look in a refrigerator and we see a carrot and a carrot cake, I would say 97% of the time I would choose the carrot cake. I have something in my brain that says carrot. I know every scientific reality says carrot is better for you than carrot cake. But why we have this capacity to make bad decisions? Psychologists would call it cognitive dissonance, meaning there is a gap. So many people, everybody in the world knows it's bad to smoke, and yet people still smoke. We have this capacity to trick ourselves to say, well, I may smoke, but I exercise a lot. Well, that doesn't automatically undo smoking, or I don't smoke that much. It's this way of trying to bring ourselves together when in fact we're separated, we're divided. We know what's right and we don't do what's right. It's fascinating in the gospel today when Jesus walks into the synagogue and there is a possessed person there, one person. And this person sees Jesus and says, what have you to do with us? The division of the person. The devil means the one who scatters, the one who divides. And it's in Jesus that all things are made unified. The one who speaks with an authority that no one else ever has, because he is God. He is the unity that is in us. And so we ask ourselves, how do I develop this sort of unity within myself? First, to look and say, where am I scattered? Where am I not made whole? Where am I answering Jesus with a we and not an I? That's where the sign where maybe the evil one has whispered in our ears and said, take the carrot cake, not the carrot. Whatever that metaphor is in our lives, where we feel ourselves not being the people that God calls us to be. We're somehow split from the ones that we really know we can be. In reality, this is about building spiritual muscle. That's one of the beauties of Catholic school, is not just to learn about science and math and all these type of things, but to learn about virtue and what it means to be a really good person in relationship, not just with each other, but with God. To be one with ourselves and to be one with God is one of the powers of this faith-based education. But in our own personal lives, whether we're in Catholic schools or whether we're 9 or 90, we still often fight this division. One of the great gifts that God has given us is the gift of confession, where we might come in as two people, the one that God knows we can be and the one we haven't been. And in that sacrament, the person we haven't been disappears, and we emerge whole, the one that God has called us to be. But in the realities of the pandemic, we can't all get to confession. And that's why we should be making this daily act of renewal within ourselves. To stop at the end of the day and to play our movies and say, oh my gosh, I did that when I shouldn't have done that. Or the Lord was there and I could have reached out, but I didn't. And it's then that we turn to the one who has authority. Jesus is not just some really great teacher or some guy with a good idea, sort of a spiritual model. He's God. When Moses says that, Ben read in that first reading, when Moses said, someone greater than I will come, he was talking about the one whom he met on Sinai. God. The one forever, and it's here in Jesus Christ, true God and true man, where these are brought together. And for us in the reality of the resurrected Christ. He is the unifier. So stop and look in your heart and say, where am I divided? Because that's where Jesus needs to go. Look in your relationships and say, where am I split off? Where am I not communicating as well? That's where Jesus needs to go. And if you invite the one with authority, invite him truly in by name, Jesus, come and find me. Bring me together in this place in my life. I guarantee you he will. If you can make it to the sacrament, make it to the sacrament. But if you can't, he can still work without the sacrament. The power of unity, so that we're not scattered all over the place. So that when we really build up the muscle to choose the carrot, praise be Jesus Christ, now and forever.